In this video, we're going to be taking a look on pages PowerPoint 56 and 57, in which we're going to be inserting a chart. Frequently, the best way to communicate numerical information is with the use of a visual aid such as a chart. PowerPoint uses Excel to create charts. A chart is the graphical representation of numerical data. Every chart has a corresponding worksheet that contains the numerical data displayed by the chart. When you insert a chart object into PowerPoint, you are actually embedding it, in which an embedded object is one that is a part of your presentation, just like any other object you insert into PowerPoint, except that an embedded object's data source can be opened, which in this case using Excel for editing purposes. Changes that you make to an embedded object in PowerPoint using the features in PowerPoint do not affect the data source for the data. Let's now take a look on step 1, which tells us that we want to scroll down and click on slide 9 thumbnail. So we're going to go down to our thumbnails here, and we're going to go down to slide 9, and we're going to click on it. Then it tells us that we're going to press our enter key. When we press our enter key, we notice that will now add a new slide to your presentation with the slide layout of the selected slide, which in this case was the content with caption slide layout. Now, of course, a quick tip as well, we could also right-click a slide in the thumbnails pane and then click duplicate slide to create an exact copy of that slide as well. Then in step 2, it tells us that we're going to click on our home tab if we're not already there, and then click on the layout button, which is in our slides group. And then we're going to change the layout to title and content, which is here on the first row and second column. Now the slide layout has changed to the title and content layout. In step 3, it tells us that we're going to click the title placeholder, which is here, and it tells us to click to add title. And we're going to type in customer survey. Then we're going to go down to our content placeholder here, and we're going to click on the insert chart icon. Now the insert chart dialog box will open up, which as you see here, or also in figure C-7. And of course we see that each chart type indicates a number of 2D and 3D styles. Now the clustered column chart is the default, which is a 2D chart style. And of course you can take a look on the table C-1, which is on page PowerPoint 57, for an explanation of the different types of charts and what you would use them for. We're going to keep this as the default. We're going to use this default chart type. So in step 4, we're going to go ahead and click on OK. Now, of course, a quick tip as well, you can also add a chart to a slide by clicking the chart button in the illustrations group on the insert tab. Now the PowerPoint window displays a clustered column chart below a worksheet with sample data, which you see on your screen right now. Now, as well, we notice that the Chart Tools Design tab on the ribbon contains commands you use in PowerPoint to work with the chart. The worksheet consists of rows and columns. Now, the intersection of a row and a column is what we call a cell. And cells are referred to by their row and column location. For an example, the cell at the intersection of column A and row 1 is called A1. Each column and row of data in the worksheet is called data series. Cells in column A and row 1 contain data series labels that identify the data or values in the column and row. Category 1 is the data series label for the data in the second row, and series 1 is the data series label for the data in the second column. Cells below and to the right of the data series labels in the shaded blue portion of the worksheet contain the data values that are represented in the chart. Cells in row 1 appear in the chart legend and describe the data in the series. Each data series has corresponding data series markers in the chart, which are graphical representations such as bars, columns, or pie wedges. The boxes with the numbers along the left side of the worksheet are row headings, and the boxes with the letters along the top of the worksheet are column headings. So here we have our row headings here, and here we have our column headings here. Next, In step 5, it tells us that we want to move the pointer over the worksheet, and we're going to click on cell C4. So once again, we're going to cell C4, so we have to go to column C and down here to row 4. And this is the cell that we're looking at right here, and it should say 1.8 in it right now. Now, of course, we notice that our mouse pointer is changed to a white plus sign. And of course, cell C4 containing the value of 1.8 has now became the selected cell, which means that it is now what we call the active cell. And of course, the active cell has a thick green border around it, which means showing that it is the active cell. In step 6, it tells us that we're going to click on the close button on the worksheet title bar. And of course, here we have our worksheet here, and this is the close button right here that we're going to click on to close this down. And of course, now you'll see just the chart remains. Then we're going to click the quick layout button in the charts layout group on there. So over here on the left hand side in the charts layout group here, we're going to click on quick layout, and we have some different options here, and of course it will give us a live preview of these different layouts. And it tells us that we want to move our mouse pointer in step 7 over all the layouts to kind of get an idea for how each of the different charts will look in the layouts. But ultimately we want to go back up here to layout number 1, and that is in the first row, first column, and it should say layout 1 on the screen tip, and we want to click on that one. And of course, this new layout moves the legend to the right side of the chart, which tells us the series 1, series 2, and series 3. It lets us know what these colors mean. That's on there. And it increases the size of the data series markers, and that's what these little bars are here. These are the data series markers. Then next, in step 8, it tells us that we want to click on a blank area of the slide just to deselect the chart, and then we want to go ahead and click on the Save button on the Quick Access toolbar. Now, of course, you'll notice that when you click on a blank area of the slide to deselect the table on here, or the chart, that the Chart Tools Design tab is no longer active because you actually have to have the chart selected. And that concludes the information that's on pages PowerPoint 56 and 57 in which we inserted a chart. On the next video, we're going to be able to enter and edit chart data.